What's going on, guys? So I just got home with something I'm a little excited about. So I was scrolling through Craigslist, which usually gets me in a lot of trouble, and I came across something that I couldn't really pass up. So I'm going to show you guys what it is. Check that out. So I went on Craigslist this morning and I was just looking for some 38s because that's really the size I want to put on the truck. So I found a set of fuel wheels, some 38 1550 20s. The whole set, I got not only the set, but also a fifth wheel for a spare. So I've got 5 matching wheels and tires, which is pretty awesome. And I picked up the whole set for $700. So just doing that little bit of Craigslist shopping is going to save me a huge amount of money when it comes to putting new wheels and tires on this thing. But what I'm going to do now is go ahead and pull my old wheels and tires off. We're going to see if we can get these bad boys to fit, because I'll be really surprised if I don't have to cut some more off of my fender. I've had to cut like crazy to get the 37s to fit. And even when you go off-road and flex, they still rub. But we're going to see what we can do, get these things on, and get this truck looking awesome. So here we go. Alright, so now that I got all the wheels and tires out of the bed, I'm going to go around and look at all the tires and figure out which tires I want to put on what corner, figure out which one I'm going to save as the spare. The tires are actually pretty smooth for a mud tire this worn out. The guy had them on a 01 F250, I believe. He said he had them on with like an 8 or 10 inch lift, and I'm getting ready to put them on my truck that has a 6 inch lift. So it's going to be a little interesting, but I think we'll get them to work. Well, we're kind of stuck because I forgot I left my jack over at Coley's house when we were working on our Sierra. And I also figured out my freaking tire's going flat because my valve core in that wheel is bad. So I've got a little crappy air pump hooked up to it, hoping it's pushing enough air to get me somewhere. I'm going to drive to Coley's house, get my jack, come on back, and then we'll be able to put the wheels on this truck. So just like always, a 5-minute job is going to take me an hour and a half because of something stupid. We'll persevere though. Don't worry. We got it. Alright, we're back. So time for round 2. Get the jack out of the back, get this tire off, and get this thing changed out. First one done. Look at that. We'll compare it to the front one here. Man, that's what just really adds to the overall appearance of the truck. Look how beefy that sidewall is. That 1550 on the 12 wide wheel. So both the wheels are 20 by 12s. My front tire is a 37 1250. It's a 38 1550. So you can see the huge difference just in how meaty the tire is on the wheel. Oh man, that makes the truck look so much better. Just look at the difference. The crazy thing is those 37s are obviously not small tires, but when you put them right beside those, oh my gosh, it makes the 37s look so small. It makes the 38s just, I mean, they tower over the 37s in comparison. So I'm super excited about that. Let's go ahead and get all the rest of these swapped out, see how much cutting we're gonna have to do on the front. There we go. So we got all 4 wheels on and they look freaking awesome. So that's really the look I wanted to go for. I want to raise the truck just a little bit more, but I like the mild lift and bigger tire look. I don't like super huge lifts and tires that don't really fit the fender wells. So I would rather cut part of the front up here, make it fit. I'm definitely going to get a bumper at some point in my life. No clue when, but you know, we're on a budget, so we do what we can when we can. You can see right here, so these fenders, they usually come about straight out and then sort of just barely curve. So I've whacked off this corner right here, but I think I'm probably gonna have to take off a little bit more. Probably some like right here. Straighten this line out a little bit. And I've got those fender flares that I took off so I could clean and get all the salt out from underneath it. And of course you see how dirty it is, so I haven't really, you know, got to that. But once I get the fender flares back on, cut the flares, you won't even be able to tell I did anything. The other spot I'm worried about is right here. So that's where the last bolt is for the fender, but I can trim right here and get a lot of clearance out of that corner and probably beat some of it back with a hammer, so I'm not too concerned about that. And I've already got the fender well zip tied back, so that's out of the way. But up front, you can see I've hacked away plenty here on the bumper and the valence, and I'm probably gonna have to do it some more. All right, so I heard it grab. I think it grabbed right here on this valence, or on the fender where I got that piece sticking out, and look at that. Man, that's close. On this side, sort of the same way. You can see the clearance right there, but that's the corner I'm worried about. And then of course back here, if I get any kind of flex on it, it's gonna hit. And again, this valence the same way. All right, so I've got it taped up where I'm gonna make my cuts and come across the valence and the bumper here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off and see how it looks. Alright, so this bolt right here I'm actually going to take out, and then it looks like I can just unbolt that piece that holds this corner on. So I'm going to do that, get that pulled off, and we'll be good. That's what happens when your bumper's so rusty nothing comes off. It just falls off for you. Alright, so here's this side. So it's cut obviously at a really steep angle. And then this flat part right here is the valence, which the mount on it is actually so rusted back here. It doesn't even hold anything, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Might zip tie it up here, drill a hole right here and zip tie it, something, piece of junk. But we'll cut the other side, see what happens. So from what I can see, the only part that was hitting in the back part of the fender was right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take just a piece of this corner off. So there's a bolt right behind this tape line that holds the fender on. So I'm just going to cut this off in front of it and then get some zip ties and pull that fender well liner back just a little bit farther. And I'm pretty sure I'm good. I got the front looking pretty good. And I think that's the last piece I got to cut. Alright, so that's it. So you can see right here where I cut. If I can get it to focus, there it goes. So this fender liner, I'm going to pull it back, get it zip tied in there nice and good, where the tire's not going to grab it. I also took off the corner right here, if it'll focus on that. Right there on the bottom of the body, I cut that corner off, give it a little bit more clearance right there. I don't think it was hitting, but you know, while I'm out here cutting, I might as well clean it up a little bit. So the front, got plenty of clearance up here now. I might round this off just a little bit, maybe to make it look better from the side. It looks pretty good from the front. It's nice and straight. It doesn't really look all that bad. But for the most part, I think we're looking pretty good. So this side's already done. See it cut, and I did the same thing on it right there. So I'll do the same thing. I'll pull that fender well back, and we should have plenty of clearance. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that up, then we'll take it down the road and make sure it's not rubbing. But I think we're in good shape now. So we got everything buttoned up, everything's back together. Got my trusty companion here. Say hey. We're gonna see if this thing rubs. Hopefully it doesn't, because I really don't have much more I can cut. And I really don't want to have to do anything else to it. But we will see what happens. Alright, so we're rolling. It didn't rub whenever I backed out of the driveway. I flexed a little bit coming out of the driveway, of course, and didn't hear anything rubbing, so that's a good sign. I guess I'll have to take it off-road, which I know it's gonna rub whenever I take it off-road. But, you know, hopefully with a couple more inches of lift, maybe some fiberglass fenders where I can cut and make that fender well just a little bit bigger, that will fix it. But that's all farther down the road. The main thing was getting them on the truck, making them fit, and leaving them where I could drive with it now. So I'm super pumped with the way the truck looks. I'm running to my dad's house again to check the air in the tires, because he's got an air tank and I don't. But once I get done with that, I'll put some clips up with the finished product after I take this thing through a car wash, because it's pretty nasty.